What's up, guys? It's Joe here. Wanted to do another video just on something that probably most recently I've heard from a few people, and I've experienced it in the last sort of week or so, or just over a week. So it's about the importance of carbs, especially for energy, and especially if you're going to do a high intensity workout. So I wanted to do this video because like I said, I've had personal experience. So I want to tell you a little bit about high intensity workout, why carbs are important prior to a workout like high intensity HIIT workouts like in our classes, and what happens if you're not careful and you're on a low or no carb diet. All right, so what I'm talking about is I've had a few people, and like I said myself, where we've gone on very low carb diets, or we haven't had any carbs in like maybe more than 16 hours, and then we do a workout that's quite intense, or we go and do some sort of activity which requires a lot of energy. So I'll go through what a high intensity workout does to the body, or where it draws its energy from. So high intensity workouts, they will work what we call the lactic system. So your body primarily during a high intensity workout will use sugar, or will look for sugar in your body, glucose, to fuel itself during a high intensity workout. Unlike a slow steady workout like a walk doesn't go into that system. All right, it only works the cardiovascular system, which doesn't need any carbs to fuel itself. It just, you can do it without eating, so to speak. You can do it fasted. All right, so when you do a high intensity workout like one of our classes, which majority of them are high intensity, your body's gonna look for glucose in your body. It's going to look for carb source to fuel itself, to try and get through that workout. That's why, as a byproduct, when you do high intensity workout, you will feel the lactic acid build up in your legs and in your body afterwards. Or a minute or 2 minutes into the workout, you feel like your legs are tightening and you feel quite heavy. Fatigue is because it's going and it's trying to look for glucose in your body, and as a byproduct of that is the lactic acid. Right? So if you're like me, where you're on a low sort of carb diet, so I backload. So what that means is I don't eat any carbs until my tea, until dinner. And that's when I'll have, 300 grams of sweet potato, and then after that I'll have some oats. All right, so I don't eat any carbs during the day. All right. So that means if I do any high intensity workouts during the day, my body might struggle a little bit. So to give you an example, I had about, I think over a week ago, last Sunday actually, I think, I had my kids and we went to the zoo. On the Saturday prior to that Sunday, I had fasted the whole day. So I had no food, and then at the end of the day I had food, but I had no carbs. Then on the Sunday, I only had breakfast, which usually is my eggs and bacon, but again I had no carbs. So I've gone almost 24 hours or more without carbs. Then I've gone and taken my kids to the zoo, and the zoo's massive, right? And so I was carrying one of my youngest on my shoulders, and we're walking around, and about an hour into it, I felt very fatigued. Started feeling really tired, body started feeling really shaky. Then I realized, oh my God, I've had no sugars. My body's gone with trying to use other energy sources, but now I'm just low in sugar, low in glycogen. My body's reacting to it. I'm feeling a bit shaky, feeling a bit, nauseous. And then I realized, I need some sugar. So I went and got a bag of pods straight away. I won't lie about that, and I consumed it. As soon as I had that sugar source, energy. So that was bad of me, because I didn't keep tabs of, I didn't, keep an eye on what I'm eating. Yeah, I fasted, but I should have realized the next day I should have had a bit of carbs in the morning with my breakfast to help me through the activity of carrying my kids around with me and having that. So it wasn't high intensity, but it's still a lot of burning of energy. And I was low in sugar, and generally my diet's low in sugar. So that's my example. All right. So this is the danger. If you're not careful and you go on a no or low diet carbs, you will find that you might hit these obstacles, and you might find yourself in this. It could be quite serious, where you might faint even because of the low sugar in your body. The other example is I've had a few people, even during my PT sessions, they will come into a high intensity workout, and I realize they haven't had any carbs. All right, and they'll feel a little bit fatigued, and they'll feel a little bit lightheaded. And I'll ask them, what did you eat? And they'll say, they'll tell me, I haven't eaten yet, or they'll tell me, and this is about midday or something, or they'll tell me they've had food but they haven't had any carbs. And I'm not talking about having pods or fish and chips or it's something bad. I'm talking about having a banana, or something like that, or some good source of carbs before you do a high intensity. So I have people in classes say the same thing, feeling a bit lightheaded, and it's because they're forgetting that, they don't know, or you don't know that you need a carb source for this high intensity. It's some of us have adapted to it, right? So I know some people don't, who are very good, and their bodies are used to that kind of stuff. But if you're not used to high intensity workouts, and it's something you've just been doing the last few months, I would highly recommend you have some sort of carbs an hour before, to help you fuel through the workout. So it's going to give you energy, but your body's going to it's going to use fats as well. What we're saying is the body's going to search for carbs during a high intensity workout. It's using a different system, right? So, be careful. That's why I'm doing this video. Be mindful of what you're eating, especially when you're doing high intensity workouts, or you're going to do some sort of activity the next day and you may have not eaten carbs for a long time. This is why having carbs is still very important in your diet. People go no carb diets. I personally would not recommend it. I'm on a low carb diet, and look at the trouble it got me into. So no carbs. I'll think I'll get some advice on it, and seek some professional dietitian, nutritionist about what's a better option than going on a no carb diet. But I just wanted to make this video because I've had a few people go through this, and like I said, my own experience, which was silly. And it's very easy to do. You could just not realize I fasted, and then I had breakfast in the morning with no carbs, and then all of a sudden I found myself nauseous and feeling a little sick and lightheaded. And it can be that easy, and you got to be really careful, guys. So, a lot of you guys do classes, so you're not going to gain weight. If your diet's on point, that little bit of carbs is going to help you in the long run, and it's going to help you have a better workout during that high intensity workout, rather than feeling low in energy and probably not giving 100%. Cool. All right. Thanks, guys.